Yesterday morning, I was sitting at my kitchen table with my coffee watching the sunrise, paint my garden golden, when my granddaughter called. She's 26, bright as a button, but she sounded worried. Grandma Rose, she said, I keep forgetting things. Where I put my keys appointments I made last week. I'm scared I'm getting early dementia or something. I had to smile not because her concern wasn't real, but because I remember having that exact same fear when I was her age. Now at 88, I can tell you the phone numbers of friends I haven't called in years, remember conversations from decades ago, and still beat my son at crossword puzzles every Sunday. The difference isn't luck, and it isn't genes. It's a simple 3-minute ritual I discovered quite by accident 15 years ago when I thought my own memory was starting to slip away. It started on a particularly difficult morning in 2009. I'd woken up in a fog, couldn't remember if I'd taken my morning medication, and spent 20 minutes looking for my reading glasses that were sitting right on top of my head. I sat down at the same kitchen table feeling frustrated and a little frightened. Is this how it begins, I wondered. Is this how I lose myself piece by piece? But then something interesting happened. As I sat there in the quiet morning light, my mind began to settle. Without trying, I started remembering things. The smell of my mother's apple pie, the sound of my husband's laugh, the feeling of holding my babies for the first time. It wasn't that these memories just popped up randomly. It was like my brain was stretching, reaching back through all the years of my life, making connections I hadn't made in ages. And with each memory that surfaced, I felt more like myself again. That's when I realized something profound about how our minds actually work as we get older. We spend so much time worrying about forgetting we forget to remember. So I created what I now call my 3-minute morning brain ritual. It's not complicated, and it doesn't require any special equipment or apps on your phone. It's just 3 simple steps that wake up your mind the way opening curtains wakes up a room. The first minute I call yesterday's gift. I sit quietly and intentionally recall 3 specific things from the day before. Not just I went to the store, but the feeling of the cool air conditioning. When I walked in, the friendly voice of the cashier who always asks about my garden, the weight of the grocery bags in my arms. I'm not trying to test my memory or worry about what I might have forgotten. I'm celebrating what I do remember, giving my brain the message that memories are treasures worth keeping. The second minute is a memory from long ago. I let my mind wander back to any time in my life, any moment that wants to surface. Sometimes it's something significant like my wedding day or the birth of my children. Other times it's something wonderfully ordinary, like the way the kitchen smelled when my grandmother was making Sunday dinner. The magic isn't in the memory itself. It's in the act of reaching back through time and finding that the connection is still there, still strong, still vivid. The third minute is what I call today's intention. But it's not about making a to-do list or planning my schedule. It's about setting one gentle intention for how I want to experience this new day. Maybe it's I want to notice something beautiful. Maybe it's I want to have a meaningful conversation. Maybe it's simply I want to be present for whatever comes. This isn't about productivity or achievement. It's about giving my brain a clear, purposeful direction for the day ahead. What surprised me most about this simple ritual wasn't just that my memory seemed sharper. It was that my whole relationship with my mind changed. Instead of being afraid of what I might forget, I became fascinated by what I could remember. Instead of feeling like my brain was slowing down, I realized it was becoming more selective, more refined. My neighbor Eleanor, who's 83, started doing this ritual with me during our morning walks. At first, she was skeptical. Rose, she said, I can barely remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. But after just a week of practicing this 3-minute morning brain ritual, she called me excited. I remembered the exact dress I wore to my high school graduation, she told me. I could see every detail, even smell my mother's perfume as she hugged me goodbye. That's when I understood something important about memory and aging. Our brains don't actually lose their power as we get older. They just need the right kind of gentle, intentional awakening each day. Think about it like this. A garden doesn't need to be forced to grow. It needs to be tended. Our memories don't need to be drilled or tested. They need to be honored and invited. Over the years, I've shared this ritual with friends, family members, even the young nurses at my doctor's office who worry about their own forgetfulness. And time and again, I've watched the same transformation happen. When we stop fighting against our minds and start working with them, when we stop fearing memory loss and start celebrating memory connection, something beautiful happens. We don't just remember better, we feel more like ourselves. What would happen if you gave your mind just 3 minutes of gentle, intentional care each morning and discovered that the sharpest version of yourself has been waiting there all along? The answer lies in understanding what those 3 minutes actually do for your brain and why this gentle approach works better than all the complicated memory exercises in the world. Well, when I started researching this after my own experience, I discovered something fascinating. Dr. Patricia Williams, a neurologist who specializes in healthy aging, explained it to me like this. The aging brain doesn't need more stimulation. It needs more intentional stimulation. She told me that when we practice recalling memories deliberately and peacefully, we're actually strengthening the neural pathways that connect different parts of our brain. It's like maintaining a well-loved path through city gardens, she said. The more gently you walk it, the clearer it becomes. Let me walk you through exactly how this 3-minute morning brain ritual works, step by step. First, find a quiet spot where you won't be interrupted. I do mine at my kitchen table with my morning coffee, but it could be in your favorite chair on your back porch, or even sitting on the edge of your bed. The important thing is that it feels peaceful and familiar. Start with yesterday's gift. Close your eyes gently and ask yourself, what are 3 specific things I remember from yesterday? Don't strain or worry if nothing comes immediately. Just wait patiently, like you're listening for a favorite song on the radio. When a memory surfaces, don't just acknowledge it and move on. Spend a moment really experiencing it again. If you remember having lunch with a friend, recall the texture of the sandwich, the sound of their laugh, the way the sunlight came through the restaurant window. This isn't just nostalgia. You're teaching your brain that memories matter, that they're worth preserving and revisiting. The second minute, a memory from long ago, is where the magic really happens. Let your mind drift back to any time in your life. Don't force it or try to remember something impressive. Trust whatever memory wants to visit you today. Sometimes I find myself remembering the feeling of my first apartment, the excitement of hanging my own curtains. Other times, it's something as simple as the way my father's hands looked when he was reading his evening newspaper. Each memory is a gift proof that your life has been rich and meaningful. The third minute, today's intention is about connecting your past wisdom to your present moment. After honoring yesterday and long ago, ask yourself, how do I want to experience today? This isn't about tasks or obligations. It's about setting an emotional or spiritual intention. Maybe today you want to notice small acts of kindness. Maybe you want to feel grateful for simple pleasures. Maybe you just want to be curious about something new. This gives your brain a gentle mission for the day ahead. Eleanor, who's been doing this ritual for 3 years now, describes it beautifully. It's like I'm introducing my past self to my present self every morning, and they're becoming friends. And that's exactly what's happening. When we practice this ritual consistently, we're not just exercising our memory. We're maintaining our sense of continuity, our understanding of who we are and who we've always been. My granddaughter, the one who called worried about her memory, started doing a version of this ritual too. She texted me last week, "Grandma, I'm not forgetting my keys anymore, but more importantly, I'm remembering who I am." You see, the real power of this 3-minute morning brain ritual isn't that it prevents memory loss. It's that it transforms our entire relationship with memory itself. Instead of being something we fear losing, memory becomes something we actively celebrate and nurture. I've been doing this for 15 years now, and my mind feels sharper today than it did at 70. Not because I'm fighting against aging, but because I'm working with the wisdom that comes with all these years of living. Last month during a family gathering, my great-granddaughter asked me how I remember so many stories about our family. I thought about all the complicated explanations I could give her, but then I realized the truth was much simpler. I remember them I told her, because I take time to visit them every morning. That's what this ritual really is. It's a daily visit with your own life, a gentle conversation with your own mind, a way of saying to your memories, you matter. You're welcome here. You're part of who I am today. The most beautiful part of all this is how it changes not just your memory, but your entire experience of being 80 or 70 or 90. When you start each day by honoring your past and intentionally stepping into your present, you realize that every single day of your life has been preparing you for this moment. Your mind isn't slowing down. It's deepening. It's becoming more selective, more wisdom-wise, more connected to the beautiful continuity of your own story. So tomorrow morning, wherever you have your coffee or tea, why not try those 3 simple minutes? Ask your yesterday for its gifts. Invite a memory from long ago to visit and set a gentle intention for today. You might be surprised by how much wisdom and clarity your own mind has been waiting to share with you. Because at 88, I can tell you with absolute certainty, the sharpest years of your mind may not be behind you. They may be right here, right now, waiting for you to discover them in the quiet sanctuary of 3 intentional minutes each morning. The memories that shaped you are still there. The wisdom you've gathered is still growing. And the person you are today is the culmination of every moment you've lived. So let's end our time together with this beautiful thought. Your mind is not a machine to be feared for its failures, but a garden to be tended for its treasures. The memories you've gathered over a lifetime are a precious gift, and you have the wisdom to care for them. Here is your simple action for tomorrow morning. As you have your first cup of coffee or tea, just sit in quiet for 2 minutes. Don't try to remember anything specific. Simply create a gentle space and see what memories come to visit. That's the entire practice. What memories tend to visit you during your quiet morning moments? Please share in the comments. Your story helps us all appreciate the richness of our own inner world. If you'd like to continue exploring how to embrace the wisdom and beauty of aging, I invite you to subscribe and join our community. It's a place where we believe our most profound discoveries come from the gentle tending of our own remarkable lives. And if you know someone who's been worrying about their memory, please share this gentle approach. It might be the gift they need to reconnect with the treasures they've been carrying all along. Until we meet again, may your memories bring you joy.